your job you're doing?
So I'm a project manager at Crown Worldwide. I'm doing a degree course, so I'm only like 2 months in, fairly new.
Rosie?
I'm Rosie Wallace. I'm a solicitor apprentice at Areej, Sutherland, one of the few in the world that is a solicitor apprentice. I'm about 1.5 years in, and my programme is a 6-year programme.
6 years.
Cool. So I'm Rozalie Boyle. I am a 3rd year restructuring analyst at Ernst & Young, or EY as some people know it. And my programme is 5 years long, and through that I become a chartered accountant, so I qualify a year earlier than the grads.
Now, I'm not going to spare Jamala's blushes, but you're not an apprentice anymore.
Not anymore.
But you were the youngest ever bank manager at 21. So tell us about your apprenticeship.
So I did an apprenticeship with Barclays. It totally changed my life. I never thought that I'd be working for a bank, let alone be able to be a bank manager at the age that I was. But essentially the reason for me was very personal. Just my circumstances just didn't match leaving home. I was a young carer for my young brother, my twin. My mum passed away when I was really young. I was kicked out of my father's house. Growing up in East London, just really, really tough circumstances. It's hard to live, afford certain things and afford a lifestyle. So for me, it was just a case of I wanted to work, and it was just amazing to have the opportunity for Barclays to sponsor my degree as well. That was the route that I took, and yeah, it just worked out amazingly. So.
Because one of the things that strikes me, and most of us are parents.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
One of the things that strikes me about apprentices, of course, for many young people who take the university route, they've almost got a gap, a kind of an intermediate bit between being a kid and being an adult. And of course, all of you go from being a kid to being an adult in a very short space of time, and that must be quite a tough thing. I mean, Rozalie, you came from a Devon village, very small, and there you were catapulted into London.
Yeah, so I'm from Devon, which is in the southwest of England, and I'm from a village of 300 people. So moving from there to central London, age 18, was a very big step. I was saying to Claire earlier that actually the reason I chose my apprenticeship was because I went to a village, I babysat for a lot of the village and looked after the kids for evenings, and they went off to a village party of maybe 100 parents and came back to tell me that they'd all decided that I should go to EY, that the whole party, spent most of the party discussing whether I should go to EY or uni, and had taken a vote. And so I got a 75% majority that I should go to EY.
But it's funny, isn't it? EY, even 5-6 years ago, I don't know when EY got into apprenticeships, but you know, the top of the top. You were looking at being a really high-end graduate coming out into PwC, EY, all of those companies, and now all of a sudden, Devon Village catapulted into London. There you are, because you've got the talent that you can actually do that. Rosie, tell me about you in terms of, because you had a choice between, you know, really, really great university and an apprenticeship. So talk to me about why.
So, very kind of standard story. I was 8 years old. Parents are in law and fraud and all the rest of it. The
Law
right,
and fraud?
The right side of fraud. My mother is a fraud detective, not a fraudster. So, yeah, very much family in that kind of sphere, and wanted to be a lawyer since I was 8 years old. At 12, I went around and told everyone in my school that I was going to convince a big city law firm to sponsor me through a law degree and give me a job afterwards. And it wasn't until about 6 months ago that I turned to my parents and said, I think I've actually achieved that. So yeah, was always aiming for that training contract, had a place to read law at Durham, so in Castle College, absolute dream come true. And then, being the little eager bean that I was, went to a training contract conference, met Areej Sutherland, and they said, we've got this programme, you might want to apply for it, and thought, far too good to be true, kind of applied on a whim, and here I am nearly 2 years later as one of their youngest fee earners in the world, and yeah, never imagined that I would be in this position at all.
Now, Mandy, you've got a very different story, and in a way, I kind of absolutely identified with you, because if I look at my academic record, well, I don't really, because I like to party when I was a teenager, and it showed in my results. And you, I think, had a bit of a wobble in terms of a bit of lack of confidence in your A-levels, and then took a route. So tell us about your journey.
So I was at sixth form. I didn't get very good GCSEs. I had to basically, my dad had to convince the head of sixth form to let me in, and my teachers had to write references to say, actually, she will do well, so please let her in sixth form. So I did the first year of sixth form. I studied English language, literature, media and photography. Came to my A-levels, I sat them, and I basically had a moment, and I said, I'm not going to get into the second year of sixth form. We had to get D's as were a pass to get on to the next year. So I basically applied for the ITV apprenticeship scheme, thinking that that was the way I was going to go. And then I got my A-level results back and I'd passed, and I also got offered the ITV apprenticeship, so I could have chosen both. But yeah, I really just had a lack of confidence, and school wasn't. I've always loved education, but sort of the key thing I take from that is that education will always be there. I'm a typical dropout, school dropout. But now I'm retaking my English A-level online, so I know that I can always go back to education if I want to.
The interesting thing about the profession you've chosen, because in my profession, is that a huge number of us were dropouts at school.
Yep.
And there's some correlation between highly creative talent and actually maybe sometimes not quite enjoying the academic route. But interestingly, for your profession, I mean, if I look at the BBC, for our production apprentices, we will get 3,000 to 5,000 applicants for 20 places.
Yeah.
So you, in terms of through the apprenticeship route, have got something which most graduates would kill for.
Yeah.
And isn't that brilliant that actually someone that didn't necessarily have to go through the kind of the traditional route